أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ففهمنا سليمان وكلنا آتينا حكما وعلما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحانك اللهم وحنانيك ألم لا تنسني ولا تنسني الحمد لله أفضل الحمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وسائر النبيين والصالحين وسلم الموفقني واهدني وسددني واجملي بين الصواب والثواب وعذني من الخطأ والهرمان آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another episode of Questions and Answers. I'm struggling to speak today, subhanAllah. It's been a long week. They say it's been a long week, but a week is always made up of 7 days, so how does it get longer? I think what is meant by that, it's been quite a tiring, busy week. I am Amjad Muhammad. If you don't know that by now, then I don't know. Well, I don't really know what to say after that. This is Questions and Answers, where you ring in with your questions or you email in with your questions, and we hope, inshallah, to respond with adequate responses. The number 01274 214 299. That's 01274 01274 214299. Yesterday, my goodness, I hadn't said the number yet, and already we were getting call after call after call. At least I can breathe a little bit today. The email address is q&a@iqra.tv. That's q&a@iqra.tv. Okay, so please do get your calls in on that number. I'm going to deal with some questions that we already have on our forum, so we can answer these questions, inshallah. But please feel free to call in. Don't hesitate. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Mufsab. Hope all is well. It's currently 38 degrees where I live. That's warm. And pretty hot despite the fan being on. If I listen to the Quran while having my shirt off, is this impermissible? Okay, this is from a man. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, all is well, my brother. Jazakumullah khairan for asking. And I pray the same for you and your loved ones. It's nice that it's currently 38 degrees where you are. It's okay here. We're teetering around the top teens, but we'd like to see it in the 20s. Yes, it is permissible to listen to the Quran whilst having one's shirt off. There is nothing that would make it impermissible. Next question has already been answered, so let's go on to the one down there. Assalamu alaikum. My company is offering a lease car option where we pay a monthly amount from our pre-tax salary for a duration of either 2, 3 or 4 years. Monthly payment is fixed, and they have said there is an option to buy after the lease time is finished. Is this permissible? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you have described it, the company is offering you a lease car option, which means you pay a monthly amount in order to have access and the service of the car. So that can last for 2 years, 3 years or 4 years. And you pay a monthly amount. And in return for that monthly amount, you get the service and use of the car. So there's nothing wrong in that. When it comes to then the period of the lease time is complete, whatever that might be, 2, 3 or 4 years, then you have the option to buy. Yes, again, that is permissible because you're now gone from leasing the item to now with the lease complete to now purchasing it. So there's nothing in there from the way it's been described that would make the transaction impermissible. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you are well, Mufti Saab. If a person stipulated at the time of marriage that he will give his wife as mahar, the mahar Fatimi and some land, then due to unfortunate circumstances, divorce takes place without the marriage being consummated, no khalwa has happened, how much would the woman get if the man has not paid the mahar as of yet? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In those circumstances, as the consummation has not taken place and khalwa has not taken place, then there will be, actually let me just double check that. I'm going to come back to that one because I just remembered something and I don't want to give an answer where I'm not convinced with that. So I'm going to come back to that one. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti Sahib. Is it permissible To eat in restaurants where music is playing, since nowadays no matter which restaurant one goes to, whether owned by Muslims or non-Muslims, there's always some sort of music being played in the background. Also, would the same ruling apply to shopping centres or any other communal areas where music is being played, or would leeway be given for this scenario depending on necessity? Jazakallah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, as you describe, unfortunately, in most circumstances or in most public places, we find that music will be playing usually low in the background. So this is either at shopping centres or even at going to the opticians or going even to the doctors in the waiting room, the hospitals. In fact, there is not a single place that you would find where there is either music or a TV or something on in the background, which will obviously have a music entity to it. It is in fact near impossible to avoid it. Therefore, as this person's primary aim is not obviously to go listen to the music, their primary aim is that they're going to do shopping or they're going to the gym or they're doing this or the other. And then unfortunately they come under those circumstances where there is music in the background. Then due to this necessity, as one would deem it, there is some scope of accepting that it is permissible to frequent that place. Some may argue that, oh, well, you can buy stuff online, you can have food delivered to your door, these aren't places of necessity. What I mean by that is that not necessity in terms of the rule, and haven't used that word, that's in the question. I'm here talking about not unnecessarily making the religion difficult to practice. Because as a consequence then, what would happen is everybody who does go then into these places would be considered as sinful, and that would be 99% of us. I think it's near impossible that we're all just going to sit in our houses, order food and order everything online and not leave our house. That's just not going to happen. Otherwise then people could argue, is it necessary to leave one's house and potentially see a ghair mahram woman dressed in a certain way? Where do you stop? So it is the times and the situations that we find ourselves in. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti Sahib. Which sheikh in Tasawwuf one should give bay in Europe, UK? Which one you prefer? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brother. When it comes to giving bay to a sheikh, then one of the primary factors I always suggest is that there should be access to the sheikh. The sheikh should be local. There is no point making bay to a sheikh who's thousands of miles away and you hardly see and he hardly sees you. So how is he going to make islah of you? How is he going to rectify your bad habits? How is he going to improve your spiritual state? How are you going to benefit from his company? So all these factors are essential that you look local first and find the best person that you can find locally. Assalamu alaikum. If one applies any face cream, moisture cream on hands and on face, or uses athlete's foot spray after wudu and prays, let's say, zuhr in this state, is this okay? If it is asr, his wudu has expired and he repeats, does he have to wipe any cream off if his face still has some moisture, or will normal wudu suffice? If he has to wipe any cream effects off, then will facial wipes suffice? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One can't answer about the effects of items that we put on our face. I get lots of these questions, particularly from sisters. I apply SPV, yani sun protection moisturizer, grade 5 or whatever it is. Is my wudu valid? I've put some blusher on my face and I now make wudu. Is my wudu valid? I've added a night moisturizer on my face and I now make wudu. Is my wudu valid? I've put day moisturizer. We can't tell you what type of moisturizer is good or bad when it comes to making wudu. So let me teach this simple qaida, this simple rule. It is compulsory for water to reach the face. Khalas. Now you work it out yourselves that if you have a particular cream on your face, is water reaching my skin? I can't tell you that. I haven't put that cream on my face. You have. As long as you know the qaida, the rule, that the water has to reach the skin, then you work out whether that is the case when you apply whatever you have applied to your face. Assalamu alaikum. Is it obligatory to set an alarm clock for the Fajr prayer or any prayer in that matter? Does the hukum change whether one is sure that he will wake up without an alarm or not? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is compulsory to pray salah. That there is no doubt. It is compulsory to make wudu before salah. That there is no doubt. So therefore, when a salah time comes in, then those acts become compulsory. But when that minute of the initial salah time has elapsed, then that compulsory nature goes on to the next minute. And that will keep going until near the end. So yes, it will be compulsory to put an alarm clock when the last 10 minutes or so are left of Fajr Salah, or however length of time he will need, to now go make istinja, make wudu and pray Salah. So it might need 15 minutes. So it's not compulsory beforehand. So it's not compulsory beforehand, but when a person has prayed, has got enough time to make istinja, make wudu and pray, let's say 20 minutes, then 20 minutes before the end of Fajr, his alarm clock has now become compulsory. It wasn't compulsory 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, but it is compulsory now because he needs to A, get up, B, go to the toilet, C, make wudu, and D, pray salah before the sun rises. Okay? Otherwise his salah has become void. Assalamu alaikum. When reading, reciting the Quran, is it important to cover the awrah? Plus, if a person is praying namaz and his t-shirt goes up whilst prostrating, when reading, reciting Quran, is it important to cover awrah? Plus, if a person is praying namaz and his t-shirt goes up whilst prostrating, but he has a jacket on top which covers his awrah, is this okay? Similarly, at night, if a person's trousers are above his knees, but his awrah is covered in a blanket, would we deem this person to be in satr? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, that would be the case. If a person is reciting the Quran, then one should cover one's awrah out of etiquettes and adab. So as long as a material, whether it is the direct material, and what I mean by the direct material is what he has on, or whether it is a duvet, or whether it is a sheet, or whether it is something that he grabs a towel and places it around him, whatever it is that he's using to cover his awrah, then that would be considered as covering one's awrah. So I think that covers all the questions that have come on the gents group. I need to just check something which I will do during the break, which we have a few minutes for, so that I may check two mas'alas out, and then the gents group is done. I have a few questions on the ladies group, so I'm going to go to that ladies group and answer those questions, and just to keep conscious of the time as well. You can call 01274 214299. That's 01274 214299. So this seems like the calm after the storm. So we had the storm yesterday where we had like just over half a dozen calls in the space of the first 10-12 minutes, and alhamdulillah, today we got nice and aram and peace. We've got through our first sort of 20 minutes or coming up to that, and we've not had a single call. So I now ask you to make the calls. I probably would suggest not to make it right now because we're fast approaching 2 minutes left, and therefore there's not going to be much time to respond to you. So I might just deal with one question here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you are well and are in the best of state and health and iman by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A sister I know sent me this question. Could you please help? A friend of mine asked the question that if being with one's family harms one's iman in the way that it pushes them away from ibadah because of the mental anguish, is going non-contact allowed? I was confused because of all the hadith about parents and being there for your relatives. If more details are required, please let me know. Okay. Let me think about that question because I know it's going to be a long question and I've got 1 minute 50 seconds or so. Assalamu alaikum. Can you suggest me a book which has the authentic biography about our beloved Prophet, the beloved mother, the first wife of our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, or anything that can help me to know about such a wonderful woman? Okay, so I don't personally know actually any. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Firstly, I don't get much opportunity, unfortunately, to do I call, reading for pleasure, because all my reading is directly linked to what I do day to day. So I don't get those opportunities anymore. It's been over a decade that I've not had a chance to read something, just sort of, as we call it, extracurricular. It's everything to do with what I do day to day. So therefore I can't help you there. And even if I did, it would be in Arabic, so I don't know if you can speak Arabic. So what I would suggest you do, sister, is if you find some books or that you feel do cover that, and then show me the name of the author and the book, then I will be able to help you in that way. Yeah, I do get questions like that, but for me, how do I answer the question where, because I don't read that much extracurricular anymore, I just do not get time. I struggle to read the material I have to read in order to teach, in order to research, in order to give fatwa. So to then have a bonus of reading something extra is just not possible. Maybe when I retire, I can sit down and go through my library and read all those books that I said I would read, and be able to fulfill that responsibility that is on my shoulders. Anyway, talking about responsibilities on my shoulders, I have a couple of questions left on the ladies group, but I'm also coming out of time. So I'm going to ask for your leave, inshallah. So jazakumullah khairan. See you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.